everyone, and welcome to the Week 14 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial calls of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start in Columbus, where the Montreal Impact took the lead in the 55th minute on this Maxime Tissot goal. But was he offside on the play? When we freeze frame it, on the poke by Jack McInerney, Tissot looks off to me. The score was still 1-0 Montreal when the home team had a good case for a penalty, in my opinion. Montreal defender Laurent Simon commits the handball, but was it inside or outside the box? From the freeze frame, it looks to me like Simon's arm is at least on the line, if not inside the box. But let's be honest, if we can't say for sure from the replay, then let's give the benefit of the doubt to the referee, Ted Uncle. Next to Toyota Park, where assistant George Gansner deserves props for getting the call right on the first Chicago Fire goal. David Accam may have looked offside in real time, but he wasn't, and the Fire take the early lead in the 9th minute. Orlando would eventually come back in this one, and they won 3-2, but they deserved the penalty, in my opinion, in the 21st minute. Defender Jeff Lorenowitz extends the arm, and in my opinion, he's making himself big to deflect this cross. You see Kaká appealing for the call from referee Juan Guzman, who does not point to the spot. A late penalty was whistled at Rio Tinto Stadium, and it was an easy call for referee Kevin Stott. RSL defender Aaron Mon hacks down Luis Solinac in the 88th minute, but Mon's former Notre Dame teammate Dylan Powers bails him out and misses on the spot kick, and a potential win for Colorado. But wait a minute, what's this? Encroachment by Luke Mulholland of RSL, he's supposed to be outside the D, and encroachment by Charles Olundu of Colorado. If we go by the rules, that kick by Powers should have been retaken. The Rapids had another PK appeal 5 minutes before that one. Solinac is held back in the box after a jersey tug from RSL's Elias Vasquez. But as we can tell from the replay, had a foul been called, it would have been outside the box. Moving to the Friday night game in Houston, where Red Bulls winger Mike Grella was involved in a couple of interesting plays. There was the simulation yellow he received in the 62nd minute, but the replay shows us that he was in fact clipped by goalkeeper Tyler Derrick. Did Grella oversell it with the flailing arms and all? I think so, which is probably why the referee thought he was being duped. But it was real. That was a penalty to me. In the first half, Grella looked to have scored a good goal in the 39th minute, but referee Marcos de Oliveira had blown the whistle just before. What was he calling? This forearm in the throat by Carl Ouimet on David Horst? Good eye there from the ref. It was a battle royale between Ouimet and Horst on set pieces in this one. I think Horst had a good case for a penalty in the 54th minute. Ouimet has two arms hooked into him and pulls him down. No call from the ref. Another set piece play. It's the 68th minute, and Ricardo Clark scores a goal off this corner, but it's called back for a push-off by Clark on McCarty. But I don't see it. I thought that was a good goal. It should have given the Dynamo a 2-1 lead, but they went on to win anyway, 4-2. Before we leave BBVA Compass Stadium, the Red Bulls were lucky they didn't go down to 10 men inside the first half hour. This tackle from Chris Duval on DeMarcus Beasley endangered the safety of his opponent, and I thought it deserved more than a yellow. He goes studs up over the ball at the corner flag. Totally unnecessary. Another player who risked a red card, New England's Lee Wynn. Look at this clumsy tackle from behind. He doesn't just trip up Darlington Nagbe, he lunges into his legs from behind, endangering the safety of the player, in my opinion. He gets a yellow from referee Jose Carlos Rivero. Now, we see Wynn commit a similar foul in a match against Philly in Week 7 on CJ Sapong. I felt that one also deserved a red card for similar reasons. Another red could have been shown at RFK Stadium, in my opinion. Let's freeze frame this video as Toronto's Warren Crevalle stomps on the ankle of Davy Arnaud in the 63rd minute. He got a yellow, but that clearly endangered the safety. Now, Arnaud had some issues of his own in this one. He doesn't get any card for this 11th minute stomp on Benoit Cheroux with the ball long gone. And he escapes without punishment for a clear handball in the box in the 32nd minute. I know the ball is going out, but the only reason he's doing it is because he knows Sebastian Jovinko is behind him. I thought it was a penalty. Referee Jair Marufo doesn't call it. I thought he did well not to call a penalty in the 90th minute, as Ashton Morgan simply beats Fabian Espindola to this ball in the box. That's a great no call and even greater tackle. But there was some controversy in the 60th minute. Kofi Opare scores a goal for DC, but it's called back for offside. John Fogarty on Twitter says he doesn't see the offside, but if you're focused on Opare, you're locked in on the wrong thing. As we see on the replay, it's Steve Birnbaum who's offside on the free kick right there. And he winds up having a direct impact on the play when he goes up to challenge for the header. Good call by assistant Eric Boria. Referee Drew Fisher did well not to call back the goal by CJ Sapong at PPL Park. The ball ricochets off his body and onto his arm. That's a bang-bang play, and I don't think he was trying to help himself with that handball. Purely incidental. I thought that the Fabinho handball in the box in the 87th minute was also incidental. You have to take distance into account, and Fabinho didn't have time to react, but he was also tucking his arm in when the ball hit him. Ball to hand. I thought the Union had a case for a penalty just before halftime when Jason Hernandez pulls back CJ Sapong and prevents him from getting to this cross. No whistle from the ref. Thanks to David Fleur for pointing this one out to us on Twitter. The Union wanted another PK in the 75th minute, but I don't see any illegal contact here from New York City FC's Chris Wingert on Philadelphia's Shanen Williams. Wingert holds his ground. To Avaya Stadium in San Jose, where we saw 3 red cards. But before that, I thought the hometown Quakes had earned a penalty just before halftime. FC Dallas right back Atiba Harris sticks his leg in front of Shea Salinas, and the Quakes winger goes down, eventually. The guy tries to stay on his feet, but he's off balance and goes down a little awkwardly, which may have thrown off referee Baldomero Toledo, who awards the goal kick instead. Toledo was a busy man in the second half. Let's look at that hat trick of red cards. We start with the 2 that everyone can agree on. In the 75th minute, you have Javon Watson going over the ball and raking Cordell Cato. Definite red there. And then JJ Koval, who had just come into the match 5 minutes before, goes studs up into the shin of Ryan Hollingshead. Definite red. And now to the play that's caused plenty of debate. In the 53rd minute, Mark Sherrod is sent off as he attempts to leap over goalkeeper Dan Kennedy, who takes a boot to the head in the process. There are those that say, what else could Sherrod have done in that spot? It's clumsy, sure, but if we go by the letter of the law, it's endangering the safety, and intention has nothing to do with it. Accidents can be punished by red cards. That's a good call. Another example of an accident that could have been punished by a red card came at Sporting Park, where I thought referee Ismail Elfat could have whipped out his red card in the first half. Look at how Marcel De Jong sticks his studs right into Chad Marshall's midsection in the 21st minute. De Jong doesn't see Marshall because he was spinning around, but it's still endangering the safety. We've seen FC Dallas's Kellen Acosta ejected for a similar kick in March, and more recently Chris Tierney of the New England Revolution. The Sounders had an even bigger gripe in this one. It came in the 66th minute when Lamar Nagel's goal was called back for offside. But when we freeze frame it, Nagel looks like he's behind the ball when the cross comes in. Assistant Chris Strickland, who's trailing the play, flags it and the goal doesn't count. Seattle supporters felt hard done by a second time in the 82nd minute after a penalty was called for this challenge by goalkeeper Stefan Fry on Dom Dwyer. But the referee got it right, in my opinion. Dwyer beats him to the ball, and Fry just barrels him over. That's a foul in my book. And it was interesting to see how the opinion was divided on Twitter. You had those who thought no way it should have been whistled, and the others who thought it was a good call. Either way, please keep the tweets coming. Use the hashtag Instant Replay to alert us to plays that catch your eye. And until next week, for our editor Will Walsh, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!